Hello and welcome back to Adventure's Edge, Heroes of the Vale, Episode 3. One more time at the table, I have Rochelle.
I'm Zinnia.
Glow.
I'm Bramble.
Matt.
Hello.
Jeff.
Tommy.
And Thad.
Darun.
Say it again.
Darun.
Darun.
I'm going to change it on you.
I'm like,
Darun.
It'd be like episode 10 before I pronounce that correctly. And then
I'm in 4 games. I'm just trying to keep it all in line, man.
Dwarven has 19 different dialects. He uses them all.
Darun.
I still feel like we're in the early enough stage in the game where people's voices may drift a little bit from week to week, but we'll keep working.
It's actually in my skill. A skill of it. That's what a linguistic means, right?
That's what the linguistic skill is, yeah.
All right, so if you haven't actually figured this out by now, we are an actual play Pathfinder First Edition game with some homebrew rules. My name's Don. I'm the game master, and we're not going to spend a lot of time chit-chatting. I think we ran long the first 2 episodes. We're going to try to dial this in.
Yeah.
And
let's go.
Yeah, we're still tweaking things here. But we are going to start with a player doing the recap. And I believe, Matt, you got nominated.
Indeed. So last time, after discovering the source of the plague, we learned that we needed 3 special ingredients to create a cure. Elderwood moss, which grows only by ancient trees. Iron bloom mushrooms that grow in areas that fade, dare not tread, near forges and old areas rich with iron. And pickled rat tail, which is a specially cured root that takes months to ready. Fortunately, I grew up right next to such a tree, and Darun is well-traveled near old forges, and Tommy had heard of an old hag in the woods, Uzi Miller, or some other name close to that. After getting directions from loggers, we found ourselves at an enchanting clearing, and it was filled with creepy figures that I have coined as scare fairies. Obviously, those had to go, and after everyone was super comfy, we do one unanswered knock, followed by another, and then Tommy putting his whole body into the final knock got us inside, only to find out that the hag apparently has been dead for a really long time. The only question remaining is, why is she still rocking in her chair?
Why indeed?
Because you are a bad person, Don.
All right. Let's just pick it up. And we'll start with Tommy as the person who started this thing. You're standing in the gloom. You've stirred up some dust and cobwebs. There's a creepy, dead-looking woman slightly rocking in the chair, making the only noise in the room. Again, the centerpiece of this small cottage is a large cauldron. Mm-hmm. And other than that, hanging from the eaves are, on like strings, are like dried herbs and knuckle bones and other little fetishes and creepy things that you don't want to think about too much. And the walls are lined with shelves filled with dusty collectibles and a small number of books, but mostly jars of strange liquids and little floating animal heads and other things that you can explore at your leisure. Everybody else is standing just outside the door. What would you like to do, Tommy?
It's come on in. It's clearish.
I will fly in right after Tommy, and I will cast light on the cauldron.
You cast light on the cauldron. The large iron-looking cauldron begins to illuminate the room.
I still can't see anything.
Oh, haha, because I did not reveal the area.
Ah.
Light.
Oh, sorry, Tommy. I didn't mean to sit on your head.
You just want to be careful. The chair was rocking a bit when I came in, and it is not pleasant smelling in here. Do you think you could take a look through the jars and see if she's got what we need? Doesn't look like she'll be using it.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you want to do, Zinnia?
So yeah, Zinnia will start going through the shelves of jars, looking for the pickled root of rat's tail.
All right, Bramble, what would you like to do while this begins?
I will also enter the cabin and start looking around, seeing if there's any rat's tail, and also if there happens to be any of the other ingredients that we need.
Ooh, good idea, Bramble. I'll do the same thing. That's brilliant.
Trunk, what would you like to do?
I am still standing kind of outside looking at that chair as it's slightly rocking. And I go, she's like gone, not taking a break and going to get up and be all creepy, right? I noticed you're all looking at things instead of the thing
Well,
that we should be looking at.
No, so I was gonna jump in. The whole time they're looking, because I don't know what those things look like. I'm just gonna be staring daggers at the chair, and as soon as anything happens, like her getting up or being angry with us, I am going to introduce her to Mama.
Okay. Are you going to stay at the door? Or are you going to go approach and look closer?
I would like to be within striking distance.
So it's pretty tight quarters. It's basically a 15 by 20 foot room. So 3 paces by 4 paces. There is a door to the western side, which must lead to an adjoining chamber, a large hearth to the eastern side. So for you to be within striking distance, Tommy, you'll just basically have to kind of navigate around.
Yep.
As Zinnia is buzzing about the room looking at
Sure.
things.
Okay, I'll send Nipper back outside. It is tight in here.
Daerun, what are you going to be doing?
Stay, Corda. And we'll have her sit outside. I'm going to step in, and as soon as I see this thing rocking, I will cast Spirit Sense to see if maybe perhaps she's a bit undead.
Okay, you begin casting your spirit sense. All right, then let's do this. Everybody that started searching, and we'll say including you, Tommy, since you're kind of assessing her, give me a perception check. Daerun, you're casting spirit sense, and then so Trunk, you're basically at this point still just outside the door, looking easily over Daerun into the room as people are starting to rustle around and do things.
Yeah, I guess I am probably most focused on looking for something surprising, like being ready in case, well, frankly, the hag decides to stop being dead, is my main concern.
We'll go around here. So Zinnia, what's your perception check since you kind of started?
13.
All right. Well, there's a lot of things here.
Yes, there's so many. So many bottles and potions and labels and things to read. It's so fascinating.
Well, we'll have to have a supercut as you kind of list off the contents of the room. All right. So you're zipping around, looking around for something. I don't know if we had a description, but I'm assuming that while you guys were walking, somebody described or at least had a little sketching of what you're looking for. So you're looking for those. Bramble, you've kind of made your way to the west side, checking that area. What did you come up with?
A 22.
22. That's beautiful. All right. Yeah, you're going through the shelf that's really covered with the cobwebs over here, and you're brushing. Are you touching anything?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Zinnia, are you touching it?
No, I'm just flying around looking at stuff.
All right. Bramble, you see some over here in the corner, promising section of, you see some actual pickles. But there seems to be like a whole wall of items floating in fluid that intrigued you. So you can have continue studying those. Trunk, nothing yet other than the chair is still just gently rocking, whether of its own accord or a breeze that you can't feel. But
So I remember from last time I had cast Detect Magic. Is that possibly still active?
it could be. It's its concentration.
Okay, sure. Suspicious enough, I probably would maintain that.
It's a cantrip, so you could just cast it again.
True.
Yeah. Either way.
Is there anything magical in the room, especially regarding the chair, that might explain why it's still moving?
Yeah. You concentrate and dip your eyes into the flows of magic. And there are a number of small points of light in the room, but the chair itself does have some faint illumination. Like it's like the chair actually might have an enchantment on it.
Okay.
Um,
I sigh.
but there's you notice that there is a locket on her chest that is also enchanted, and that's like more enchanted. So that's probably what you would pick up on, since you're kind of specifically looking at her. Tommy, what did you get?
I got 19.
All right. So yeah, you're studying her carefully. She doesn't seem to be moving independently of the chair. She seems to have possibly died in the chair quite some time ago.
Okay.
As best as you can tell, and had a blanket like wrapped pretty tightly around her. But she does have a very creepy looking amulet that is around her neck and hanging there. And she's got like strands of gray hair that's sort of matted and hanging around her shoulders and down around it.
Okay. If her position or condition changes, I'm ready to punch her.
Ready
For the lack of a better term.
All right, that's fair.
It does look like apparently the chair is just magicked to be super cozy even after she is dead. Maybe not her doing it, but, be ready maybe to punch her in the face anyway.
All right, Daerun, you do not detect any spirits.
I think she's gone. She's not undead. So it just might be that locket that's keeping her up. What's behind? Do I see this space over here by Bramble?
Yeah. That is a door.
I will approach it. Has anybody checked inside here?
No, not yet.
Oh, you found a door?
I found a door. Should I open it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to open it, and I will open it.
Okay. As you do,
Awesome.
I'll reveal what's beyond that room. You see, dimly illuminated by the glowing cauldron behind you, bedroom. There's a dust-covered bed, and looks like a small writing desk and a little washstand, and the faint odor of a long, unused latrine.
I'll step in and observe the desk, if there's anything on it.
All right. You step in, and you notice right away that somebody's messing with the light, because it just sort of like kind of flickers, when somebody's like with a flashlight behind you, and it sort of illuminates. And Tommy, since you're most close, you're standing there watching Urzmela very closely, and you hear kind of a scraping noise from the cauldron.
Punch her in the face. I'm waiting for this to happen.
He kind of pointed that out.
And it was like so jacked up. As soon as I hear something I can't explain, I'll give her just everything I got.
Oh my god! Well, give me an attack roll there, Tommy.
Trunk shouts and jumps back 5 feet.
It's an 11.
Okay.
Do I get any kind of advantage or extra bonus since she's a corpse?
Since she's just sitting there in the chair.
Well, I mean, it is functionally flat-footed. You had a readied action,
Okay.
so you definitely punch her hard. It's a sickening crunch
You are very skilled at punching old dead grandmas.
as you kind of cave in her left jaw. Something like dust or whatever, like just sort of spews out of her mouth as her face malforms from the impact. And two things happen. A voice emanates like from her person in the moment. I'm not sure if you would actually detect it, but it's coming from the amulet. And you hear this out, and this happens at the same time because also in your peripheral, the cauldron has moved, and that's going to be its own thing. But while that is happening, the voice speaks. So I'm going to just read this because it's loud enough that everybody hears this. And it just is this really creepy hag-like voice, as you would expect. You all hear, "If you hear this, I am dead. Take what you will, but bury an old woman under her cherry tree." Beware the growing shadow. And then, semi-related, the cauldron lunges at you.
Me?
Yes, at you. So this large iron cauldron, which is illuminated with the light, which is now kind of flickering wildly around the room.
Sure.
Just like you didn't see it before, but because it's a big cauldron and it has a lid on it. Like etched into the side of the cauldron was this like jagged maw that you really wouldn't notice if you studied it. It would have looked like a stylized design.
Sure.
It opens, revealing, like if you were to sort of trace almost like a pumpkin,
Okay.
imagine that, like where it's just like the teeth are the mouth basically, because it's just iron. It opens up and like lunges into your space and attempts to like bite into your leg.
Okay.
Yeah. And you were definitely not expecting this from the cauldron. So it lunges forward, and I guess it's been a while since it's moved. So the first attack roll of the game is a natural one.
Excellent.
That is excellent for you. That does trigger a fumble on its part. Okay, then it's kind of like bumps into you. It must have been just the grime of tearing itself from the floor. You just hear the clatter as this steel jaw clinks together, and you can react appropriately.
Okay.
What would you like to do? We'll toss Tommy the dragon. Tommy just got a first player marker, little plush dragon, yet to be named.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I would like to turn and grab the chair I see next to the table.
The toppled chair there.
Yeah, and I would like to maybe like lion tamer this giant cauldron, just like keep it at distance.
Okay, so you pick up the chair and you're basically going to try to, total defense is normally a full round action. So you grab the chair and you're going to basically do a total defense with the chair as an improvised weapon.
Yeah.
Where we can learn Tommy's fighting styles. Okay, Daerun, standing where you're at, you hear a small commotion behind you as you're standing there looking at this adjoining chamber, and you kind of spin around. You see that the cauldron is like shifting about, and I don't know that you necessarily fully appraised the situation yet, but it seems to be trying to move after Tommy, who's grabbed a chair. What would you like to do?
I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily have my weapon ready, right? Because I'm not expecting this.
Yeah, you've not declared such, so.
So I would definitely use my first action to grab my hammer and say, this thing's got to break at some point. So I will grab my hammer and take a 5-foot step towards the cauldron. That's my turn.
Well, you could actually still make an attack because I assume your base attack bonus is a 0.
Yes.
Okay. So you drawing your weapon as a move action.
Okay.
But you can still that's move equivalent.
Sure.
So you can still take a 5-foot step, and as your standard
Gladly.
action, still make an attack.
Gladly, I'll take that.
So you whip out your warhammer and swing it at this cauldron.
That's a 13 to hit.
13 to hit. All right. Your hammer clings loudly off the side of the cauldron, but you think it must have been deflected.
Oh, so it sounds like Hell's Bells. Great.
Hell's bells indeed.
And then I'm going to call for Corda. Corda, get in here, girl. Attack. Okay, that's my turn. I mean, she goes on mine, so I don't know if she would have.
She would. Now, this is not a normal creature, so you would have to push Corda to attack, which actually you'll have to make.
What do you mean push?
Animal companions won't normally attack like supernatural creatures without a animal check.
Oh, well, because that's one of her tricks. So
yeah.
Yep.
So you will still have to make
animal check.
a command.
Sure. 18.
We're just going to go with it. That's a pretty good roll. I don't have the DC in front of me, but so Corda will leap by trunk. So basically, just go leaping into the room.
She might. Could it have to be a 5-foot step? Could she grab it there? Would that okay?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
So Corda runs into the room, getting next to you, and you are directing Corda to bite at this iron cauldron.
Intrepidifficant. We'll see. That's no Corda. Oh, Corda. That's not a hit. That's
Okay.
that's a 7. So
So I imagine Corda doesn't really know exactly. You're telling it to attack this cauldron.
yes.
Yeah. Lovely.
Okay. Now that's my turn.
All right. Zinnia, you were kind of in the northeast corner of the room, flitting about. Tommy has grabbed the chair that was next to you and is lion taming this cauldron, which you see looks to be somewhat threatening. And what would you like to do?
I would like to cast acid splash on it.
Oh, lovely. Okay. So you summon up a little ball of acid and toss it at the cauldron. I believe that is a ranged touch attack.
16.
That will be a hit. So sizzling acid sprays across the side of the cauldron.
For 1 point.
Got to start somewhere.
Yep. You see a small bit of the iron sizzling away.
Take that.
Bramble, you were in the other side of the corner next to Daroon, who stepped up next to you with a hammer. So you're a bit pinned in between the rocking caved-in head hag and Daroon and the cauldron. So there's really no space for you to move to. What would you like to do?
I will take out my sling
Okay.
and I will try to hit the cauldron, I guess, in the mouth.
As one would.
Yeah. Stop it from chomping at people.
Okay, because you are adjacent to it.
Mm.
And so with a ranged weapon, you would be provoking an attack from the cauldron.
Oh.
Mhm.
Ah.
If you think that's your best weapon, though, this is how you learn.
This doesn't seem right.
Also, as an aside, I'm assuming you don't have precise shot.
No.
Okay. So firing into melee where an opponent has your allies next to it puts you at -4 to that attack too. So it is a very suboptimal attack option. I will give you a moment to pause and consider the situation, and you think perhaps what do you want to pursue?
I could try headbutting it.
You have headbutt?
I do have headbutt.
There's your answer.
I mean,
All right.
When in doubt,
I
headbutt.
love it.
So
We
You-
have one person playing Lion Tamer and the other person doing the other role.
all right. So you pull your sling out, realize at the last second this may not be ideal, and you do what fawns do, and you headbutt it. So roll that headbutt damage.
It's an 8.
Okay. Yeah. So you was all very unexpected. So perhaps that pause just put you at a disadvantage there, and you try to get in, and it's just moving around, and the lights are kind of crazy, and you do not make contact with it. Trunk. While you might have been thinking perhaps things were going to happen a different way, you are standing safely just outside the door, but albeit within a 5-foot step reach of this cauldron. What would you like to do?
I glance at Nipper and so we should just go back home and this was a bad idea, yeah?
Nipper nods at you.
Okay. I guess I step into the room and apparently the thing to do against giant cauldrons is beat it with something, so that's what I'll do. I'll take a whack at it.
Your guess as good as ours.
What are you using?
I mean, I prefer my spear, but stabbing metal with a spear seems questionable, so I'll just clunk it with my staff.
All right.
That is going to be a 19 to hit.
Ooh, we've got impact as your staff hits it readily with a loud clang. Give me some damage on that.
Okay. Quarterstaff reads that it's a double weapon. I don't know what that means, but we'll start with 7 points of damage.
So basically, that means if you get when you get a second attack option,
Gotcha.
once your base attack, then you can attack with both sides, or if you get 2-up in fighting.
For now, I am a single clunker.
A single clunker. Well, you clunk it well. It probably has somewhat the effects you would expect. It seems to be resilient against your clunking to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
But you actually you give it a wallop, and you seem to give it a little bit of a dent. It is its turn, and it still seems intent upon doing Tommy some harm, perhaps maybe as a form of retribution to your somewhat
I was
violent...
startled.
I think the cauldron was her dog.
Well, these things happen.
They do happen. So it definitely is kind of pushing forward and doing its best to take a bite out of you. Oh, I saw that 20 flip up, but then it did not land. That is only going to be a 13. What is your AC, Tommy?
18.
18. Okay. And after this round, if you continue to do total offense, then that'll give you a +4 to that.
Okay.
Or where did you already add that?
I didn't.
Wow, you've got a good AC. All right. Then it is it's still ineffectually trying to take a chomp out of you, but you're holding the chair now. Do you want to stay defensive, or do you want to...
No, now that it's been decided that we are going to attack it, I'll just hit it with the chair.
All right, so this will be an improvised weapon. Now, do you already have any feats that give that?
No.
And then we talked about a feat tree for you.
Yeah, that hasn't been put into effect yet.
Okay. All right, so you're going to smash the chair at it.
Probably not. I rolled a 2.
Probably not indeed. All right, well, it's an unusual situation, and you miss.
Does the chair shatter?
No, you don't connect with it.
All right.
Unexpectedly so. So Daerun, you've got your hammer in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else seems to be circling this crazy cauldron. What do you want to do?
Mm-hmm. I will drop the hammer because it's just a one-handed hammer I'm doing right now. If I could use it as a free action to cast a spell.
Yeah, you can drop your weapon as a free action. I mean, you don't.
And I will cast expeditious excavation and create a 5-foot cube hole underneath.
Oh, interesting.
So you have to make a reflex save, or you're prone inside.
So a couple things.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to drop the hammer just
Okay.
for the record.
Okay.
You didn't want to.
I don't want to.
However, are you reading the spell description?
Yep. Sorry.
Has to be done.
I will cast Acid Maw on Corda.
Okay. Yeah, expedition that
got you.
requires
Yeah.
dirt.
I just read.
Yeah.
I got you.
I really liked that thought.
It's not a dirt floor, then you're saying. That's my turn. Go get her.
So still gripping your hammer.
Mm.
Now, again, casting a spell adjacent to an opponent does provoke unless you
Okay.
cast defensively
Which means I have
a chance of failure.
Okay, let's do that defensively. Let's teach the people what that means.
All right, so you're going to roll and you're going to basically make a caster level check against 15 plus twice the level of the spell.
So level spell 1. So
you're
and
going
then plus my ability.
Yeah, you're going to roll. You're going to add your ability and your level.
So it'd be 15 would be the ability because I have a +4 to my wisdom. So and 10. So 10 plus 4 plus 1. Right? Is that how that's done?
Well, you roll.
Sure. Just roll 20.
You roll a d20 and you add your ability score and your level.
Okay. So it's 17. No, 18. Sorry. 18.
Perfect.
Okay.
Because that would have been
18.
We got there.
We
did.
got there.
We're all learning.
Which I'm so confused. Like
Yeah.
So what happens when you juggle systems? You've been playing
Oh,
Pathfinder,
don't
right?
even. Yeah, I know, but still. That was a quasi spellcaster.
All right, Acid Maw is in effect on.
And then she will attack.
Perfect. Okay,
And that's going to be a 18 to hit.
that is a hit.
And her bite. And then she will do a trip attack too. I don't know if that really does anything, but her actual bite does 6 points of damage, and she does 2 points of acid damage. And she trips on a successful attack. So I don't know what that means in this case.
I don't think this thing can be tripped.
Yeah. I would
Because
imagine
it's not standing on legs.
It doesn't roll over. I mean, I can push a cauldron over and roll it.
They generally don't come with teeth, though. So
Yeah.
True. Generally, right.
You have to get the nicer model.
right.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Well, whatever damage is done.
Yeah, I got that. I got some. Yeah, still, the acid has definitely made a difference on that.
Okay.
All right. Back to Zinnia.
So Zinnia will do another acid splash because
Acid seems to be affecting it.
ooh, that's a 19.
That is a hit. So you spray some more acid.
Well, it's actually a 25 with all my, for 1 point of acid damage.
All right. Bramble.
Total of 4 points of acid damage.
We might be here
We're
a little
getting
while.
there.
We might
Well,
be
this
here.
is first level, people. This is not like, we're not 5th level here.
All right, Bramble. What you got?
I again am going to try to headbutt the cauldron,
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. and that is a 7.
Hey, I missed it with a chair, so
Oh,
so don't feel bad.
It's not like you've headbutted a whole lot of people in your life.
Well, it's not doing any better. So we'll be fair
Yeah.
about this. So there's a lot of chaos. I'm imagining everybody's sort of bustling around as this cauldron is like stomping around on his 4 caster feet, and then we're back to Trunk.
I will try for another clunk. That is going to be... Yep, no base attack bonus there. So a 14.
A 14 hits.
All right.
Perfect. Clink.
For 4 points of damage.
Oh, this is a brutal actual opening fight. I will admit. Yeah, you're gonna have to really put your back into it. So it still seems to be very intent on Tommy, although it is whatever awareness it has seems to be growing about the other people clunking around. But it is still gonna bite at you, Tommy.
Sure.
So, my goodness, dice are cold. I think it's time to put some dice in gel already. Yeah. So you've somehow managed to still be keeping it at bay with your chair. I'm actually going to throw my die and dice gel or out on the table. It's time to get another die here.
Oh, that was just hot as hell last time you were rolling it.
Well, I don't know if that was the die.
Oh,
I don't know
so
if that
you've
was
got like 5 black dice.
Yeah, they all look the same. Yeah, we'll see what happens. You are ejected from the game, buddy. To the bench. All right. Then we are back to you, Tommy.
So, as the surprise of this cauldron kind of wears off, what I'd like to do is take a little bit of a step to my left. So, to put me across from the dwarf.
All right.
And then I would like to try to hit with this chair. I've made my mind up, and I'm going to accomplish it.
All right. So you are now flanking it with Darun. So you do get a +2 to your attack.
That's solid. It's a 19, so that's a 20.
All right. And it is going to be -4 for an improvised weapon.
I did.
That's already factored that in.
Nice.
Look at you
Factored
go. Nice. All right. So that is a solid blow as you crash the chair down on its iron head.
Okay. And what would be the damage? Something like this.
I believe that's going to be D4, I believe. D4
Okay.
plus strength. You've got some muscles, right?
I do. So that would be 7 points of damage.
Very nice. All right. The chair definitely cracks loudly and starts to come apart, but it is not fully broken yet. You dent in some of its head. You still think that it is it's resistant to, seems to be just about everything except for the acid.
It's resistant to chairs, is what you're saying.
It is, but it is definitely pockmarked and dented. So it is not like you guys are being helpless against it. And nobody's actually been injured yet, other than some pride.
Oh, someone's
Why would
So-
you say that?
right. Why would you?
It's going to chew my hand off.
All right, Dayrun, you've now got some flank.
Yeah, inspired by my friend here with the table, I'm going to try again with the hammer. So that's a +2, right?
Yeah,
A 14.
perfect. That's exactly what you needed, you
All
think.
right.
Cling.
Now we can cling. That's 4 points of damage. And then Godra is going to bite again with her acid maw. That's a D4 on that other turn, so that's just 2 acid damage for the beginning because she takes the next round. She takes another D4 damage, or it. Sorry.
It persists.
Yes.
Well, okay, so
that's 2 right off the top, and
Okay.
then her bite. She's going to bite again, and I don't know if she got that's 13 because she's not flanking. So she just misses.
Just misses it. Yeah.
So that's her turn.
Okay. You see that acid? So in that last reason for 4 rounds.
Just the next
Just
round.
the next round.
Yeah.
Perfect.
She has to succeed.
Okay, Zinnia. I'm just kind of surprised at all this acid here you guys have. That's great.
Well, Zinnia's gonna just really, really, really think that this time it's gonna be better than 1 acid damage.
Is the alternative 2? Are you basically?
No, it can be up to 3.
Oh, okay.
That's a 25 to hit.
That is a decided hit.
See, my aim is good. And that's 3. That's 3.
3 acid
3
damage.
acid
Right.
damage.
Look at that. It is definitely sizzling away now.
Sizzle.
It is actually taken quite a bit of damage. It is still very functional, but you feel like perhaps you guys are making some progress in doing this cauldron in.
I do a little spin in the air.
All right. Are you, speaking of, I had been kind of a little lax on the fly checks. Are you just hovering?
Yes.
All right. I mean, I know what your fly skill is. I actually don't think that you can fail because you technically have to make a fly check to hover as your move action.
Okay.
But it's a DC 15, and I'm pretty sure you're like at a plus more
Plus
than,
16.
Yeah. You actually, I don't think you can fail. Okay. So note to self. All right. Then we are back to the headbutting bramble.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to do again, is I'm going to headbutt it, or at least try
Go,
to.
Bramble,
So-
go. No.
Nope, not even.
Perhaps you should try the dragon.
it's even worse than the last time. So
But it's not a fumble.
no, it's a 2.
You're a positive one, Zinnia.
You didn't fall into the cauldron. Yay.
That's true. It looks like it could just like eat you up,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. All right. Well, then we're back to Trunk.
All right. At the moment, I glance up, see Zinnia's. It's sizzling and it's spinning and it's cute when it's a cauldron. I'm afraid she's going to do that when it's a people. And I will hit it again. That is going to be a 14, thanks to flanking with Bramble,
That is a hit.
for 6.
All right. The dents are much less than you would desire. You think at this rate it may take a few more rounds of beating on this thing, but
I've grown up on legends that the Fae have issues with iron things, so this does not surprise me.
that is a good point. Yeah, it probably would actually, that much iron would probably make you a little uncomfortable. Well, maybe not you so much. The other Fae.
Wow. He said it.
This is going to be a pattern. My cheer in the world will just continually degrade.
Oh, no.
You've been accepted by the Fae, so therefore you are the Fae.
All right. It is, we are back to Rosmila's Cauldron. So it has clearly not had any success at taking down the lion tamer Tommy.
So it gives up?
I think it's gonna maybe take a chomp out of somebody. Well, we're gonna see. It's not really operating with the greatest strategy. So I'm just gonna roll the dice here and see. It's gonna, you know what? It's gonna kind of pivot around, and since Bramble keeps putting their head like right up next to it,
It's one rude cauldron.
perhaps you presented yourself as a target of opportunity. Yeah, not mechanically, but stylistically. And it's going to try to chomp you, Bramble. Oh my gosh. There we go. I rolled a natural 3, which I'm confident
Yay.
comes nowhere near your first level
No,
AC.
I am okay.
If you're out there listening to this and imagining this battle, we apologize.
You know, Yeah.
Part of me is beginning to think that it's not actually animated. It just started rolling around, and we're like,
We just think it's alive.
we're all just so freaked out. We're beating up a completely inanimate column.
Yeah, we haven't checked if this thing is actually trying to attack us.
Yeah.
I like that so much. I really like that so much.
We heard that it was going to be dangerous, but oh my goodness!
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought this cauldron was going to be more terrifying than it. I mean, you guys are probably amped up. We are back to Tommy, though.
So I look at the chair. I'm a little disappointed. It didn't do more damage. So I glance to my right and I see the table. And so what I would like to do is pick up the table and use that instead of the chair.
All right, so as a free action, you drop the chair. As your move equivalent, you pick up the small. It's a small table, like a little 2-person.
Sure.
Or in this case, really just a 1-person table. It had some like old plates and stuff that were there, and you pick it up. Whatever's on there clatters to the floor, and with a good over the shoulder heave smash.
Yes. That would be 7. I assume I'm not proficient in tables as a weapon.
Should have kept up that training on the chair.
At one point, you will be. Just follow your feat tree.
Someday, even you two can fight with tables.
But, maybe the cauldron doesn't have a great armor class.
It's better than a 7.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Is that a 7?
Like twice
Well,
as better.
-4.
Plus
And then I'll
2.
get 2.
Mhm.
So it's an 8.
Ooh.
Did I tip the scales?
Oh.
Watch out, cauldrons.
So close.
All right.
Yeah.
So I've seen you attack with a chair, a table, a second chair. I look over. Remember when we were going to get our things before leaving town? Did you forget something?
Just warming up. All right. Give me a moment.
Well, I mean, so Daerun, to his credit, he is still flanking it and threatening it, so it's giving you the opportunity to use a proper weapon.
Yes. Am I feel like I'm doing anything to it, or just
You have
entertaining it?
you've done it some.
Okay, we'll go again.
I mean,
So that's going to be a 14 again,
a hit.
and that's going to be 7 points of damage from the Warhammer, and Kodra is going to do a natty 20.
Oh, so Kodra, this is where we like homebrew rules.
Yeah.
So that is going to be max damage.
Okay, so that's going to be gotta go back and forth this animal companion.
And the exciting pause.
That's a 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And then acid damage, I don't know if that's full damage too.
Excellent question.
Aphysma?
No, that's added at the end.
Okay.
So 7 bite.
Yep. Then 4 acid.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Oh, it is max damage.
And then you get to roll to confirm your crit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a 19 to hit.
Awesome. So then you just roll your damage again.
I will take this. I like this idea.
The acid only adds the first time, but
Yeah, I got you. 4 points.
okay. That is
So bite.
So Kodra gets in there and is probably still trying to go after the trip thing. Maybe grabs onto one of its little, stumpy legs and just like rips that off to kind of throw it off a balance. Just, tears it off. That's appreciable damage. You feel like you've actually just really moved along.
Good girl, Kodra.
It is not incapacitated yet, however. So Zinnia, feeling encouraged that perhaps you guys will prevail against the cauldron.
Yes. I shall
This will be cut into 2 episodes.
acid splash again. That's wonderful. 22.
This will make the next week's summary really simple.
Find out if the cauldron dies next episode.
Another 3 damage.
Oh, you have now officially sizzled some holes in it.
Nice.
It seems to be weakening, and you think that perhaps a few more good blows is going to maybe get it to stop moving.
You've got this.
The mighty
The luck of the
Bramble
dragon.
Yes.
Come on, Bramble.
taking like the
It's a 14
+2.
plus 2, so that's 16.
I see. It took you to kind of draw its interest. It took
Apparently,
that
yeah.
snap at you. You're like face to face with it, and it's almost like you're stepping off the line in football and just like straight into its face with your head.
And that is 3 points of damage.
Okay, well, you think it probably hurt you more than you hurt
Probably.
it.
That's-
You see,
yeah.
you realize iron is in fact quite hard. as
Yeah.
But it
The
made
horns-
contact.
Yeah, you have contact. There's a loud pair of clinks as your horns wrap into the side.
Bramble has a very hard head.
Mm.
I do indeed.
All right, Trunk,
Right.
bottom of the round.
Continuing. That's a 14 again.
That's a hit again.
For 9 points of damage this time.
Wow. Is that your max? That's pretty good.
It might be my maximum.
You really, that was your best dent. Like right there on the top of its head, smacked it in. It seems to be wobbling a bit as if it might be just imminently about to give up whatever ghost is inhabiting this creature, but it's going to get at least one more final attempt. I'm pretty sure this might be its last attempt here. So we're going to have it go against Daerun.
Oh, very good.
Very good. Oh, and there's a natty 20 to take us home.
No.
Look at that.
Take who home?
Hey, Raven, do you remember that dwarf we used to travel with?
Okay,
The one we lost in the cauldron.
I'm going to roll to confirm this crit here. All right, we do not confirm the crit, but it is going to be max damage. So that is going to be 9 damage as it chomps onto you.
Good thing I've got toughness.
And then it is going to try to grab you. Ooh. And that is going to be a pretty solid grab. What is your CMD?
My CMD is a +2, so I do roll then? Or?
No. Your CMD should be calculated.
Oh, 2 then. 12.
Okay. You are grabbed. So
How dare you?
Yeah. So it chomps down hard. Pain goes through. It probably gets you like right in the upper thigh. And you just feel these iron teeth just like pinching on you like a vice. And it looks like it wants to like swallow you. We'll see what it does next turn if it gets that opportunity. Because we are back to the mighty Tommy.
Right. I try to hit with the table.
Tommy, save him.
Yeah, so that's a 14.
That's table smash.
There you go. What's the damage on a table? Is it like oak or balsa wood? I mean, it make a difference.
Yeah.
You know, well,
Balsa wood table. It's the worst table ever.
I know, right?
you know what, Tommy? I'm gonna give you a D6 on the table.
Oh, nice.
Oh, right.
At least for the first attack with it.
So there is 7 damage, table damage.
7 table damage.
If it's resistant, I just want to be specific.
It is definitely resistant to pretty much all damage. Okay. All right. Well, you, Tommy, you ring the cauldron's bell. You think it's on, perhaps its very last little drip here. And as that acid sizzles in,
Yeah, I mean, I would like my turn to cast Cure Wounds on myself. And then she can go ahead and make an attack. So that would be a 1d4 damage at the beginning of the attack, which would be 2 points of acid damage on it.
okay, that's what I was really looking for.
Okay.
Was the beginning of the turn.
Yeah.
Because that triggers automatically.
Sure.
So you're kind of being, jerked around as
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts a lot.
Yeah.
And you see that acid sizzles through one more vulnerable spot,
Mm-hmm.
and the cauldron takes like one more last little squeeze on you, and then you feel it just goes inert as it just sort of shifts and stops moving. With you kind of still in its maw.
Yeah. I'm still going to cast Cure Wounds on myself because that smarts. and because I can. Are we out of battle then?
We are out of battle.
Do we count full health on a healing? Are we playing that rule or not?
We are.
Okay, very good.
We are.
What a gracious DM, huh?
I give. I'm a
that 20 was a give. That's for sure.
Hey,
So
he didn't confirm it. That was good.
yeah, it was very gracious. The grab too. No, it goes.
I mean, I
It's the way
assume
it
that
goes.
I assume that was a pretty good chunk of your hit points.
Yeah, I had toughness as my. Otherwise, I'd be dead, or dead 0.
Yeah.
But it happens first. But I'm going to go ahead and rub my upper thigh.
All right. Well, you can all take a breath as you are probably still brandishing your weapons, waiting to see if this thing moves further. Maybe somebody else just opts to keep beating on it, or
With a table. Absolutely.
All right, Tommy, you give it another good blow with that table before the table splinters in your hands.
Sweet Lord. What was that?
Yeah, why would the cauldron attack us if she said to bury her? Like,
I don't know if something happened with when he punched her.
Allegedly, I punched her. Right. I don't think.
Well, actually, I didn't see that, so I just heard someone say, "What are you doing, Tommy?"
Nobody said
Anybody
it.
who looks at her like sitting, like leaning out of the chair with like half the head caved in.
Well, unconsciously, I'll rub my hand on my shirt to rub off the dead hag. I don't remember doing it. It didn't happen. So maybe we should bury her.
Yeah,
Subject change.
What's with the little? You said that the little necklace was something important. The amulet.
I mean, it talked to us, so yeah.
I mean,
It warned us
do we
too.
bury it with her?
It said, "Beware the shadow." So I'm assuming that is the name of the little
Shadows,
pot
the
that tried to
cauldron.
attack us.
well, it said beware the growing shadows. So,
It got bigger, I'm pretty sure.
It's just eyeballing.
well, I'm going to cast detect magic on the amulet now. Is it still
It is still magical.
okay? And so then
And you notice that it actually has changed slightly.
okay, and then I'm going to try using, like seeing if I can understand the magic. I try to understand the magic.
Okay, so that is going to be a spellcraft check. So while you are doing your spellcraft, Bramble, what are you going to do?
I guess I am going to take a breath and then continue searching the pickle wall to see if I can find anything.
Okay,
I will grab that shovel and start digging under the tree.
nice. Okay, so you head out under the lawn to get the shovel, and
Look at the tree now. You stay put.
Tommy, what are you going to do while this is happening?
I would like to place the chair and the table back where I found them as best as possible.
I'm not going to spend all day mending that.
And Xenia, are you thinking maybe we take the amulet or?
Well, I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Sure. Or it's just we're going to need to grab her. Did you want to take it off or do you want
Not until I know what it is.
Oh, easy. I was just asking a question.
I'm
They
going
ruin-
outside to help this guy shovel.
That was my question. So, okay.
Actually, I'm going to use expeditious excavation and help out a little bit.
I pull the shovel back and I go, foo, in a giant 5-foot hole here. I am really good at
Just
this.
to start it,
I'm keeping this shovel.
I don't know if we can fold her over or, we have to keep digging.
Maybe you could go take the broken pieces of the table and chair and like frame it out into some kind of structure. So
Like a coffin?
yeah.
All right. I'll do that.
Okay. So you're going to take the debris of your, okay, so you're going to grab that up. You guys start digging the hole. Bramble, you go ahead and give me a nature check to identify the ingredients.
Let's see, that's 19. So that's 24.
All right. As you finish your surveying of the jar of pickled goods, you do see quite a few of these strange little pickled rat's tails. There's at least half a dozen there. which since you do have the ingredients list, which I believe is still Daerun has, you're pretty sure that is about what you needed for the big batch. So you can opt to gather those up together.
Yes.
All right. Then Zinnia, yeah, you finished examining that. And what was your spell
21.
21. Got it. Sorry, I had a picture of it, and it is not opening for you for some reason. So you'll have to see it next time. It is actually pretty creepy. It is the amulet has like a little face on it,
Ooh.
and the little face, its eyes were previously open, and they are now closed. But what it does, basically, you determine that you can. It's almost like a little magic mouth. You can speak a message into it, and it'll trigger and recite that message.
Oh.
Which basically you think that she put in her last words. And when there's a message waiting, the eyes are open. And once the message has been spoken, they close. So whatever trigger she had, you guys collectively triggered, or somebody did. You can point fingers, but probably when maybe Tommy interacted with her.
I think there's only one finger that needs to be pointed. I don't know why we need to all point at Tommy at the same time.
Okay.
But that's what you do. I mean,
I interacted positively based on my memory.
you were saying over and over again, if this thing moves, I'm going to punch it in the face.
Or it might have been when the door opened to the bedroom, or when
Absolutely.
we don't know.
Oh.
It's fine. But so it seems like we can take the necklace. It doesn't seem cursed.
It does not seem to be cursed.
Okay, it seems like it might be useful,
Sure, yeah.
but it seems like it might be a little big for me.
Give it to the bard.
I can carry it.
He's
Okay.
good with birds.
There you go.
Thank you.
You can sing to it and then tell it to do its thing and harmonize with yourself.
That would be very, very cool, actually.
That would be an interesting use of that item. Okay.
Or you can make awful sex noises.
Oh.
No.
You Fae are a bit weird. Even the ones who are not Fae. I mean, Fae.
No.
Once the necklace is removed, I'll take the corpse and put it in the coffin that we've made, and then work on burying it.
This is what you don't need to work on the burying. We've got it. I know. If you want to take your shirt off just to shovel, that works too. But I don't need. It's appropriate or needed.
All right. Bit touchy.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Sorry, did I hurt your feelings?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well.
Okay, so it
Give it a
sounds like
burial,
so you have a plan. You excavate, you shovel between the lot of you. Then you get a properly constructed, I guess, coffin sort of thing.
Was there anything on the desk inside?
Well, yes, we could probably get to the requisite looting after the.
Oh, this is more about is there parchment paper?
You're still burnt about that.
I'm on a limited budget, all right?
I mean, the woman needs the magical necklace in order to talk to people. I don't think she has things to write on.
Maybe she likes to draw.
She might have notes about like other remedies or other useful things that the lady
Or the shadow.
or the shadow. Ooh,
Shadow.
that's a good thought, Daerun. But before we get to that, maybe Bramble wants to say a few nice words.
I go to stand where she is, and I just say, I know we don't know you very well, but
Or at all.
or at all, but I hope that you rest well.
Thank you for giving us your stuff.
Yes, this is going to help a lot of people.
Okay, bye-bye now.
I'm sorry that I punched your corpse in the face.
Anybody else have any final words? No. All right, we have a solemn moment out there under the
Perhaps
cherry
I'll
tree.
take one of her flowers from her garden and throw it in there.
Just thinking about what Trunk said at the beginning.
Well, Trunk said that to himself.
He did.
We
he
didn't
did.
hear
He probably maybe looks aghast, or who knows.
I don't know what the goings-ons of witches and flowers and gardens.
All right. Well, then you complete the burial rituals. You've acquired the first ingredient of 3.
Huzzah.
Huzzah, indeed. And it sounds like perhaps you're going to root around to see if there's anything of value in this place.
Or useful.
Root around.
Useful. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And you do find a bit of treasure to reward yourselves for this, your first success in near-death experience. So you do find some parchments. She was not a prolific writer, but she did do some writing.
But that works for her. I'd rather have blank parchment than,
Yeah, so there are some a quill pen and some ink and a small sheaf of parchment that you can take to replenish your diminishing supply. You also find, assuming that you kind of, I don't know if you're going to work together, people doing some detection and whatnot, because Trunk, you did originally pick up on a few of the things.
Magic. She's got detect magic.
Yeah.
We can detect magic.
You do find a pouch of essential salts that you can use in the summoning familiar ritual. It will reduce the cost to summon a familiar if you are able to do such a thing. You also find there are 2 books of potentially some interest. There's a book called Candle Magic, and there's another book called Charms and Minor Magics. So I don't know who may take those. I have more details about the contents of it, assuming you'll do some light reading to add that to your collection. And go ahead. You were
I was going to say charms and what?
Minor magics.
Charms and Minor Magics.
Well, if you don't mind, Cora loves to carry books around. She's got her little side saddlebags, and they're empty right now except for a couple things.
All right. And then there are some sundries. I like to list things off because I don't know what may intrigue people. It's one of those things that most people might think they're junk. But there's a bolt of linen, like perhaps she was going to sew something. That does have some value. You do find a bottle of good wine. There's some candles, like a clay pitcher and tankard. There's a flint and steel. I guess somebody needed one of those. There's a hammer. There's a lamp, like an oil lamp. Some sewing needles, and she had, I specified 9 vials of ink.
Oh,
like she had a lot of ink. So
perhaps
she was used to write things and distribute it.
Yeah, take some of those.
Absent of what you were hoping to find, though, you don't locate like a journal or anything, though. So that is what you find. There are other like non-magical ingredients that I can provide you if you're going to start collecting things. You start getting recipes perhaps in the future. So I can give that to you off air.
I do have a question for the Fae. You seem to react differently with these scarecrows up. What was she protecting herself from? From Fae? Or I don't know.
It would make sense. She dwelled in the Fey Wood and wanted to keep us at bay, so, kind of wigged Fae out a bit.
I actually didn't really notice anything, so...
You just felt sick or something?
Yes, for me it was very off-putting, to say the least. But yeah, I'm not sure what the purpose of them was. Obviously some sort of protection, but...
I mean, it was a little icky, but...
And you feel better now?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, that whole process probably took you a good hour of, looting and burying and respectfully dealing with that stuff. So you will have to consider your options now, because at this point it's about 4 p.m. You think that you might be able to get to the tree maybe by dark or after dark?
I don't know about that. Should we set camp here? When does it get dark?
When the sun goes away.
Yes, I know that, but there are trees to stop the sun from coming in.
You figure you've got about 3 hours of light.
How far are we from home?
It's about a 3-hour, well, at this point, 3.5 hour hike home.
To the Fey Village.
Oh, that's actually pretty far too. Yeah, you won't get home by dark. While we haven't really discussed it, you also think that bringing outsiders into the village would be pretty starkly frowned on.
Oh, why?
Yeah, Tommy's a nice guy.
Is it the beard?
Well, that would be a position that most Fae would have, is that, the humans live over there, we live over here. They chop some trees down, we mess with them a bit, but yeah, you live separate lives. I mean, that would be just second nature. You're a bit more whimsical in your the way you approach things and sort of take residence amongst them out of curiosity.
No reason to ruffle the Fae feathers. Well, you say the tree's a bit ominous.
Do I know of any other, like, old ancient trees that might qualify? Like, I remember from kind of background that this was a tree that even the rest of the Fae interpreted as kind of something to avoid.
Right. So the kind of like the heartwood, the center where these original growths that are probably hundreds of years old, they're all congregated together. So
all there.
I mean, that's, based on whatever mystical properties that this moss has, I mean, that's where you think you're going to have to go.
Okay.
And since there is a urgency of time rooting around the whole Hollowwood.
So I'll say it is not an area most of the Fae are willing to tread, either because of, various philosophy, or maybe there is a legitimate fear of something that is there. I've been there a number of times just because that is where I was born, but...
So you know the area well?
Yes.
Would it be safe to go there in the dark, or are we putting our lives in danger?
I mean, if I'm being honest, it isn't safe to go anywhere in the dark in the forest.
Okay.
So, no.
So what do we want?
We can certainly start our way there and then camp in the meantime. Otherwise, this territory obviously has not been bothered in quite some time. Maybe because of the scare fairies that I've already taken down.
So you figure you've got a couple hours of light that you'd be wasting if you stay.
That's the wasting word is enough to say.
These are things where you have to make a decision, right? You're balancing the risk.
You guys feel safer here in the forest anyways. We will take, if you think it's okay to at least go a little bit longer, set up camp, we will follow your instincts.
Zinni and Nipper just kind of take off.
Okay, I think that's decided for us.
All right. Then with your new treasures in tow and the first of 3 ingredients, the lot of you forage off into the forest in search of the heart tree, and we'll see if you can get there before dark or not. But that will be a story for next time.
All right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Good job, guys.
We defeated a cauldron.
Hey,
Wow.
you got to start
First
somewhere.
level.
Right.
Yeah.
And no one died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one died. But I'm really confused why she leaves a message saying, "Hey, bury me under my cherry tree," and then sets the cauldron upon us.
Yeah, that was definitely confusing. That's why I didn't attack it to start with.
Like really mixed message,
I mean, I assume she didn't expect people to come up and go, "Oh, how about they desecrate your corpse and then bury you later?"
Perhaps she became isolated, and a little bit.
Hag's
Paranoid.
gonna hag.
Hag's gonna hag. We'll never know.
Yeah. You did well. I was worried about the damage reduction and your ability to overcome it, but the acid stuff was really helping, and then you guys got some good wallops in there, and I was rolling really terrible.
Yeah, that's always helpful.
Till the end.
Yeah, I mean, if it
Speak for yourself.
If it had hit every round, that could have gone different ways.
We set off our 20s, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I like it.
Dice giveth.
Yeah.
The dice take it.
They take it. So, all right. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate this, and we will. We'll see you guys next week.
Alrighty.
Sounds good.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed our show and want more, please leave us a rating and review on whichever platform you use. And of course, feel free to share us on social media. We'll be back next week with more adventures in the world of Tellus. To tide you over, you can read more about the cast, characters, and the world of Tellus at AdventuresEdgeRPG.com. And if you're headed out on your own adventure, don't forget to search the creepy ruins for secret doors or hidden treasure.